Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to our main news bulletin. Here are the headlines in our news tonight. Women opposition leaders pass a vote of no confidence in the NGOCC. ZAMTA suspends 8 procurement members pending investigations. Court grants an application for Brian Munduwile to be joined to the Mao Sampa legitimacy case. In international news, Somalia floods, provisional death toll reaches 50. And in sports news, Zambia takes on Niger in the 2026 World Cup qualifier match in Morocco. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Do join me with the details after this.
Introducing Darren B, a touch of class. Are you looking for the perfect place to elevate your style and glam up? Look no further. Darren B Touch of Class is your one-stop destination for hair and makeup transformation. Walk into Darren B and walk out feeling like a star. Your transformation starts here. Call us on 0772 870 588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049 213 to book your appointment today. Payments are made via mobile money or point-of-sale machine. Strictly no cash payments. We are located along Mossy Road in Ibex Hill, 4th close on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post. At Darren B, we pride ourselves on our team of dedicated and trained personnel ready to pamper both women and children. Darren B is open 7 days a week from 0720 hours to 1740 hours. From trendy hairstyles and stylish makeovers to flawless makeup, we do it all. Darren B, a touch of class.
And now the news in detail. Police in Kabwe have apprehended 4 senior staff at Kabwe Municipal Council, including 1 UPND civic leader, for the theft of building materials at Tushane Transit Bus Station, which is under construction. And Central Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Godfrey Chitambala says government will make sure all the culprits involved in this case are brought to book regardless of their political affiliation and status in society.
4 senior staffs at Kabwe Municipal Council, including a UPND civic leader, have been apprehended by police for theft of building materials worth thousands of kwacha at Kabwe's Tushane Transit Bus Station under construction. Those who have been apprehended are Site Manager Sidin Chanda, Storesman Engineer Moses Wali, Sylvester Kalupeteka, and Kabwe Municipal Council Director of Engineering Glenton Chamukwenu. So far, police have recovered 157 pockets of cement. The 150 pockets have been discovered from this building behind Immaculate Institute of Health Science and 7 pockets from the named civic leader who, upon realizing that police dragnet was closing up on him, surrendered the consignment to the police.
I would like to confirm that we received a complaint from the council where building material was missing from the site, the bus stop that is being constructed along Ndola Kabwe Road. So we instituted our investigations and managed to recover these 150 bags of cement, and we also recovered some angle bars. So during our investigations, we were able to apprehend 4 people that are currently in our custody. We also apprehended a civic leader whose name we're going to withhold for now, and recovered 7 bags of cement.
Police have also recovered iron bars for construction and plumbing materials hidden in this building at the same site. And Central Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Godfrey Chitambala, who visited the hideout, says the New Dawn government will not condemn theft of public property regardless of who is involved.
Everyone who's involved, regardless, will be brought to book and will be answerable to the law, because we cannot go without proceeding.
This is a litmus test for the New Dawn administration, as one of their own, 2 years in administration, has been accused of theft of government material bought from taxpayers' money. Reporting for Camnet TV News, I'm Petronella Msangulude in Kabwe, Central Province.
Residents of Lusaka's Kaunda Square Stage 1 have complained on the persistent sewer leakage challenge in the area despite efforts made by the government to control the situation. The residents have told Camnet News that efforts made by the government through the office of the area member of parliament, Mike Mposha, to install a newer sewer line has not provided a solution to the historic spillage of sewer in the area. One of the residents, Ida Nyirenda, explains that the sewer spillage is extending to their houses, hence compromising their health and fear that the situation may be worse as the rains begin.
Residents of Kaunda Square Stage 1 in Lusaka's Mnali constituency are living in fear of a waterborne disease outbreak as historic sewer spillage is now extending to their residential areas. The residents explained to this journalist that the change in the sewer lines was facilitated by the Millennium Development Challenge and wonder why, after the change of sewer lines, the leakages are the order of the day. These residents allege that efforts to engage the local leadership and the Lusaka Water and Sanitation Company have fallen on deaf ears.
About 2 months or 2 months na sewer ichoka na pipe ya manzi inatuli kabisa kanizikana so senezi wa manje how are we going to survive na bana wamene tusunga pa mayadi pa manyumba pa jaka ya makrolini stiforese oro kuchipatala si audience angashite manage gura makrolini.
Today they will come and work it on the Lusaka water and sewerage. Tomorrow we will find that no, it has been having some blockages. So it's better, I think we should just go back on the old line. Maybe it can be much better than this. This is total rubbish. And our government should also come in. We should go and follow up. I don't know whether this thing has been handed over nice. Because it's an everyday thing.
So manje kamboshita mix na masu. So manje bana mwamno munde mwamno soberera ngati na mvula yaloka badya kamo. Yonse every month indisheni masu. Bikoribe kutise binaboke manje balema.
Other residents explain that the sewer spillage has affected the effective running of their businesses because it is compromising their surrounding.
Here I can't do business. My business has struggled because people can't pass here because of the sewer line that passes just in front of my shop. So if they can help us, at least go back to those people. We just want to know if this thing was really handed over to government or not.
Meanwhile, when contacted for a response on the matter, Area Councillor Milu Pilobasi says the spillage of the sewer is a result of negligence from the residents.
No, but who causes the leakages? It's what they put in the sewer system. It's not the councillor or the MP. So once the Lusaka water they do some unblockage of the sewer, what do they find? Do they find the councillor there? Because they find solid particles. And who puts solid particles? It's the community itself. So when you say, the MP and the councillor, you're not addressing their problems. No, that's a blue line.
Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Mufulira District Commissioner Savoy Kabika has regretted the shooting of a 15-year-old boy by the Zambia National Service ZNS officers in Kankoyo on the Copper Belt. Zambia National Service ZNS officer Monday shot dead a juvenile during the anti-smuggling exercise in Kankoyo of Mufulira. Ms. Kabika says government is saddened with the incident and will mourn with them as well as cater for all expenses.
It is a very bad state of affair, actually. It's a situation that we did not anticipate to happen, but it has happened. Personally, I saw the boy yesterday. We helped in taking the body to the mortuary. This morning, we were trying also to talk to the parents, but after that happened, when the ZNS officers fled away, the police officers went in to try and quench because a riot erupted. instantly from there. And when you go at Kankoyo police station, you find that the police station has been vandalized. The window panes there have been broken. The glass panes have been broken. Initially, the police station is in a very bad state because of the riots that took place. But we have managed to restore law and order, and things are a bit calm. We were trying to talk to the parents this morning, thinking that they've calmed down. The situation is a bit calm. We just want to go in and help as government.
The Human Rights Commission has condemned the alleged torture and subsequent death of a named suspect in Mukushi district by the Zambia police. Human Rights Commission spokesperson Muelia Muleya says the death of Alan Sikalongo at the police station is a grave crime and a violation of human rights, which calls for punishment of the perpetrator and the compensation of the family to the deceased in order to end impunity. Mr. Muleya says the Commission will thoroughly investigate the reported violation in order to come up with an impartial and credible findings that will contribute to a fair and just action and decision. He says so far, preliminary investigations indicate that the deceased, who was a resident of Itala compound in Mukushi, was picked up by the police together with 3 others and taken to Mukushi police station, where he was reportedly subjected to severe beating during investigations.
Human Rights Commission strongly condemns the killing of a suspect, or alleged killing of the suspect by Mukushi police officers in Central Province on 19th November 2023. The Commission received a report that a suspect by the name of Mr. Alan Sikalango, aged 37, who was a resident of Itawa compound in Mukushi, was picked up together with 3 others by police officers and taken for interrogation. He was picked up on 18th November 2023. He was allegedly badly beaten to the extent that he could hardly walk by the time he was being released from the interrogation room. Moments after being released, the inmates discovered that he had actually died in the cells. The Human Rights Commission calls upon the government to show seriousness in punishing acts of torture by enacting a law that criminalizes torture in Zambia.
The Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMSA, has with immediate effect placed on suspension 8 procurement members of staff so as to pave way for investigations. ZAMSA Senior Public Relations Manager Bradley Chingobe says the move is intended to streamline the procurement functionality of ZAMSA and also facilitate the Zambia Police Procurement Authority, ZPPA, to conduct an audit into the current procurement systems at ZAMSA. Mr. Chingobe says the move will also allow ZAMSA to restructure and reorganize the department in a bid to enhance efficiency in the procurement process of medicines and medical supplies. He says the suspended members of staff have been placed on a non-punitive suspension and will receive their full remuneration during the investigations.
ZAMSA has with immediate effect placed on suspension 8 procurement members of staff so as to pave way for investigations. Being a key mandate of the agency, the move is intended to streamline the procurement functionality of ZAMSA and also to facilitate the Zambia Public Procurement Authority, ZPPA, to conduct an audit into the procurement process and systems at the agency. This move will also allow ZAMSA to restructure and streamline the department in a bid to enhance efficiency in the procurement process of medicines and medical supplies. We aim to have a conclusive investigation within the next 2 weeks. The suspended members of staff have been placed on a non-punitive suspension, which means that they will be able to receive their full remuneration during the investigations. We would like to assure the general public, stakeholders and suppliers that ZAMSA operations will remain normal and that we expect no disruptions in the procurement process.
The three women opposition leaders in the country have passed a vote of no confidence in the Non-Governmental Gender Coordinating Council, NGOCC, labeling the organization moribund. Speaking during a joint press conference Tuesday morning in Lusaka, flanked by Chishala Kateka and Savoy Imboila, Forum for Democracy and Development FDD leader Edith Nawakwi says NGOCC has outlived its usefulness due to the failure to support women in politics. Ms. Nawakwi has since appealed to government and other donor agencies to cease channeling support to the movement as it is not serving the interest of women in politics. And National Democratic Congress NDC leader Savoy Imboila has disclosed that the women in politics will from now onwards stand for themselves as the women are a disappointment.
A female presidential candidate. You understand? It means they have outlived their usefulness.
The three women opposing political party leaders Tuesday came together to declare a vote of no confidence in the existence of the Non-Governmental Gender Organizations Coordinating Council, NGOCC. The three opposing political leaders include Forum for Democracy and Development, FDD Edith Nawakwi, National Democratic Congress NDC leader Savoy Imboila, and New Heritage Party leader Chalakateka. Speaking during a press conference, the women contended that NGOCC has outlived its usefulness and only serving selfish interests.
I personally have come a long way, and I am happy my colleagues have come to find out that the organization is moribund, and therefore it doesn't serve our interest.
Ms. Nawakwi has since urged donor agencies to desist funding NGOCC arising from its failure.
Specifically for women, should be channeled not to NGOCC. We need to sit with the minister and discuss how, if there are well-wishers out there who channel funds through the Minister of Finance, it should be channeled specifically for politics for women.
Also speaking during the same event, NDC leader Ms. Imboila disclosed that the women have resolved going forward to depend on themselves to fight for prominency in the political arena.
But if you're going to have NGOs and activists turning into politicians or job seekers, then there's a big hole that they have left, the other side. So as politicians, we do two roles. We'll be politicians, we'll be activists. Because no one is being an activist right now. They're more interested in being job seekers.
Other women who also attended the press conference recalled how NGOCC allegedly failed to support them during the 2021 general elections despite promising to do so.
We have the material support. It may not be financial, but the materials that promised to give me that time, they did not come through. So I waited for another 2-3 days in Lusaka, and then when I saw that those interviews were not happening and everything, I had to go back to my campaign, so I had to go back to Lumezi.
NGOCC was not available to comment on the matter by broadcast time. The women movement and the opposing political leaders have been at loggerheads following conflicting views on the conduct of the Speaker of the National Assembly, Nelly Muti. For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
United Party for National Development, UPND National Youth Deputy Chairperson Trevor Mwinde has encouraged the diplomatic establishment in the country to adhere to their rules of engagement. Reacting to the call by the United States Ambassador to Zambia, Michael Gonzalez, for President Hakainde Hichilema to declare his assets, Mr. Mwinde states that President Hichilema ascended to presidency with clean hands and that the country has its own time when the president is supposed to declare his assets. Speaking during the Zambia Anti-Corruption Conference in Livingstone Monday, Ambassador Gonzalez said there was need to expand the declaration of assets and urged President Hakainde Hichilema to lead in this exercise, saying leadership was demonstrated through actions and not words.
Article 263 of the Zambian Constitution, Act No. 2 of 2016, requires that all persons holding public office declare their assets and liabilities before assuming or leaving office. However, the number one civil servant, President Hakainde Hichilema, has not publicly declared his assets and liabilities up to date. The call for President Hichilema to declare his assets is back, with stakeholders seeking reassurance of the government's commitment to transparency and accountability. Latest to reignite the call is the United States of America ambassador to Zambia, Michael Gonzales, who has been quoted by local tabloid. However, United Party for National Development, UPND National Youth Deputy Chairperson Trevor Mwinde has reacted to this call.
Trust and faith in His Excellency Hakainde Hichilema that he never came to the podium of leadership with dirty hands. There were evil machinations even before he ascended to the position of presidency, that which the opposition used, and I only hope that the diplomat, he himself, has not drunk in that very cup, because those evil machinations which were there before, there were those accusing him that he was involved in some dubious transactions, and he offered gifts and rewards in various quantities, even amounting to a house, if at all there were people that had any files or dossiers against him at a time when we were known for his opposition.
Mr. Mwinde says the country has its own timing when doing things, and has since encouraged the diplomatic establishment in the country to adhere to their rules of engagement.
As a youth leader and as a citizen of this country, Zambia, we want to encourage the diplomatic establishment in the country to deal with the issues that which are non-political in nature, and in making sure that their etiquette and their rules of engagement are adhered to, especially that the opposition now, they are trying to tilt towards the same diplomats whom in the recent past they were considered as highest enemies or devils. So we wonder now the good relationship and the information that which they want to feed the diplomatic.
In the face of the ongoing efforts to combat corruption by the United Party for National Development UPND government, the importance of asset declaration by public office holders cannot be understated. Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
Government has hinted that the economy under the current government is better than it was under the Patriotic Front government. Minister of Information and Media Cornelius Mwetwa says the fact that farmers and government institutions are receiving funding on time is indication enough that the economy is performing better. Mr. Mwetwa was speaking when he appeared on Camnet TV's National Matters program on Monday evening.
The economy is performing better. Number one, to perform, there must be evidence on the ground. Number one, like I've indicated, meal allowances. The Patriotic Front could not afford within the national resource envelope to pay public university students meal allowances. And they brought, I moved a motion myself at Parliament as former Zasu president, asking that the government restores meal allowance because it had far-reaching ramifications over the living standards of and lifestyle of university students, particularly the girl child. Look at the anguish that parents would go through knowing that they have their children at the university, but they have no meal allowance. They have to scrounge on survival every day. Amidst parents those who had retired, would not be paid their retirement package.
The Media Liaison Committee, MLC, has questioned the state's intentions to have the courts adjudicate and determine the gold scandal case in camera. MLC Chairperson Ernest Chanda says the intention by government will deprive the public the right to know how their resources are managed, adding that a transparent legal process ensures accountability and upholds democratic values. Mr. Chanda says the committee believes that the gold scandal has far-reaching implications beyond just legal proceedings, as it directly impacts the economic stability and reputation of the nation.
The Lusaka High Court on Monday, November 20, 2023, ruled that one of the country's high-profile case involving businessman Shedrick Kasanda and 4 others charged with espionage in connection with the KK Gold scandal be held in camera. The ruling by the court follows the state's application to have the proceedings held privately on grounds that some of the evidence, if given in view of the public, may be prejudicial to the interest of the Republic. But Media Liaison Committee has questioned the state's intention to have the courts adjudicate and determine the gold scandal case in camera. Media Liaison Committee Chairperson Ernest Chanda discloses that the intention by the state would deprive the public of the right to know how their resources are managed, adding that a transparent legal process ensures accountability and upholds democratic values.
The current government has been claiming to be promoting and upholding issues of transparency. But that is a serious indictment on them that in fact they don't mean what they say. That is a case which started with a lot of euphoria and excitement, to the extent that the president himself even promised the nation that people should not speculate, they should wait for the court process so that they start hearing things that will come out of that. So what are they hiding in this case? That is a matter of high public interest.
Mr. Chanda argues that the case was supposed to serve as a deterrent, sending a message that wrongdoing will be exposed and dealt with openly.
This government has decided to promote individual interests. We know that there are some people that they are trying to protect within this government. We know that it's common knowledge in public. No wonder they had to release the Egyptians first and then do other things. Otherwise, it's a very big disappointment. They shouldn't even talk about transparency anymore. There is nothing to talk about in terms of transparency because there is no transparency here. And there is no public interest in ruling that that matter should be held in camera. Because the moment they take it to camera, they are just protecting individual interests as opposed to public interest.
The court's ruling in the matter in which Kasanda is jointly charged with Mahogany Airways Chief Executive Officer Jim Berem, Commercial Pilot Patrick Kawanu, Francis Mateo, State Security Officer, and Robson Monga, a police officer, means that the media will not be allowed to cover the court proceedings. Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
An officer from Kabwata police station has narrated before the Lusaka Magistrate Court how he was allegedly grabbed by the neck and was being strangled by former Ethiopian ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, who was resisting an arrest. Stephen Simwenda told Magistrate Trevor Kasanda that he became a victim of physical abuse in the hands of the accused while conducting his duty. Officer Simwenda was testifying in a case where Ambassador Mwamba, who is also Opposition Patriotic Front presidential hopeful, is accused of assault on a police officer in June 2023.
In a fully packed court, Stephen Simwenda, an officer from Kawata police station, took the witness stand Tuesday morning and narrated before Lusaka Magistrate Trevor Kasanda how he was allegedly grabbed by the neck and was being strangled by Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, who was resisting an arrest. Testifying in a case where Ambassador Mwamba, who is also Opposition Patriotic Front presidential hopeful, is accused of assault on a police officer in June 2023, the state witness explained how he allegedly became a victim of physical abuse in the hands of Ambassador Mwamba whilst conducting his duty. According to the witness, it was in the afternoon of June 14, 2023, when the alleged incident transpired. He tells court in his testimony that whilst in the company of other officers, they had gone to apprehend the accused, who was at a car wash in Woodlands area in connection with the publication of certain information on a Facebook page. Upon their arrival, they informed the accused that he was needed at the force headquarters. The accused requested to inform his lawyers before he could proceed to the police headquarters, however could not get through to his lawyers. Officer Simwenda testified that it was at this point the accused allegedly started calling people and informing them that he was being kidnapped. He says they got shocked with the accused statement because they produced IDs to identify themselves to him, adding that after all effort to plead with him to accompany them to the police proved futile, the accused resorted in using fists and attacked him. During cross-examination, the witness confirmed that they had no summons issued against the accused, nor did they produce a call-out. And when asked by defense counsel Makebi Zulu if he stood still whilst the accused was attacking him, Officer Mwanda said he touched one of the accused's fingers in order to protect himself. The officer went further to tell the court that he almost died due to strangulation by the accused. The case has been adjourned to January 29, 2024 for continuation of trial. Miriam Kaemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Still in court news, the Lusaka High Court has granted the application from Porokoso Area Member of Parliament Brian Mundubile to be joined to the case where the party is challenging the legitimacy of Miles Sampa's presidency. The application has been granted on the basis to avoid multiple cases before court of similar nature. Porokoso lawmaker sued Miles Sampa, Morgan Ngonga, and the Registrar of Societies, seeking, among other reliefs, the declaration that the first defendant, Raphael Nakachinda, is the duly appointed Secretary General of the Opposition Patriotic Front, not Morgan Ngonga, and that Miles Sampa was expelled and is no longer a member of the party. Meanwhile, Patriotic Front Faction Vice President Given Lubinda has urged PF members to continue fighting for the party.
The matter in which Raphael Nakachinda sued the masquerader Miles Sampa in the High Court. Today we're very happy that the application by 3 of our colleagues, 3 of those 8 presidential aspirants in the Patriotic Front, namely Brian Mundubile, Kafwaya Mutotwe, and Greyford Monde, their application to join the matter in which Raphael Nakachinda, on behalf of the party, sued Miles Sampa, has succeeded. The judge has accepted that the 3 be joined to the matter, and because of that application, which was successful, the matter was adjourned to 4th of December. I'd like to thank all patriotic members for turning out in large numbers at the High Court and for turning out in large numbers to render support to all of our friends who are facing court cases. This is as it should be. And I'd like to seize this opportunity to say, don't you be swayed by some naysayers who are saying that members of the Patriotic Front must not cry about democratic space because they themselves, when in government, did not give people sufficient democratic space. Had that been true, the Patriotic Front would have become a one-party state. Would not become a one-party state.
This is the main news on Camnet TV. We now take our first set of commercials to join me with more news after the break.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Introducing Darren B, a touch of class. Are you looking for the perfect place to elevate your style and glam up? Look no further. Darren B Touch of Class is your one-stop destination for hair and makeup transformation. Walk into Darren B and walk out feeling like a star. Your transformation starts here. Call us on 0772 870 588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049 213 to book your appointment today. Payments are made via mobile money or point of sale machine. Strictly no cash payments. We are located along Mossy Road in Ibex Hill, fourth close on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post. At Darren B, we pride ourselves on our team of dedicated and trained personnel ready to pamper both women and children. Darren B is open 7 days a week from 0720 hours to 1740 hours. From trendy hairstyles and stylish makeovers to flawless makeup, we do it all. Darren B, a touch of class.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Renglow, your smart irrigation partner.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We now continue with more news. The Council of Churches in Zambia, CCZ, has condemned the redeployment of the Chief Registrar of Societies, Tendiwe Mende, stating that the move raises more questions than answers. In a State of the Nation address, CCZ Secretary General Emmanuel Chikoya says the redeployment has been concerning, especially that it was followed by police searches and call-outs. Father Chikoya adds that CCZ is also concerned with reports that some civil servants are being transferred or sent on leave on reasons that they are not in support of the current government. Meanwhile, New Heritage Party leader Chishala Kateka has demanded the reinstatement of Ms. Mende to her position, stating that her redeployment is an injunctive.
The Council of Churches in Zambia, CCZ, has weighed in on the state of the nation. Listen to the Zambia Council for Catholic Bishops, ZCCB, released its pastoral letter painting a rather gloomy picture on the state affairs, with government opting for engagement. Speaking in its State of the Nation reflection, CCZ General Secretary Emmanuel Chikoya said the church is concerned with the redeployment of Chief Registrar of Societies, Tendiwe Mende.
The registrar's redeployment raises more questions than answers, especially that this development was preceded by office searches and police call-outs, and of course in the context of the upheavals that are happening in the major political party, the former ruling party. We wish to urge government to uphold the rule of law, not just by lip service, by walking the talk.
In the like manner, Father Chikoya says the church is concerned with the transfer, in some instances, sending on leave of civil servants on allegations that they do not support the current government.
Our firm belief is that civil servants are professionals and they should be employed as such. The tendency to change, to make major changes in the civil service have actually proved to be a challenge that impacts development instead of helping development.
Meanwhile, New Heritage Party leader Chishala Kateka has demanded for the reinstatement of the Chief Registrar of Societies.
But here she does what she's supposed to do. She releases that information and then, I don't care what you call it, she is fired. What was the woman supposed to do in that position? Should she have sat on that information or listen to her bosses? Where is the justice in what has been done to that poor woman?
For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
A book writer has observed that extreme exposure to social media has contributed to the poor reading culture in the country. Major Oscar Chilumba tells Camnet News that the advancements in information communication technologies have led to a situation where people have less time to read a book that may build their lives. He regrets that most people spend more time watching comedy and live streams discussing personalities at the expense of educative and informative content that can be accessed through social media platforms. The Believe in Yourself book author, Mr. Chilumba, says parents and guardians have a role to play to change the current status quo by encouraging their children to embrace the reading culture.
The advent of social media has come with both positive and negative attributes, and among the disadvantages is its contribution to the poor reading culture in the country, as most of the times people spend more time watching funny videos and other non-serious content. Many people have become spectators to jokes and social media personalities that spend time talking about issues that are detached from national development matters such as the national budget. A book writer, Major Chilumba, tells Camnet News that the advancement of information communication technology has led to a situation where people have less time to read books that may build their lives, but still appreciates the fact that there are people who attach value to reading and serve as a motivation to authors.
Social media takes takes social media. So there's nothing like, putting restrictions and all like that. You try that we can put restriction which can be a disadvantage to others. So you need to upgrade your mind with things that are beneficial or things that can benefit your mind, things that can benefit your life, because this is your life. If you destroy your life, today, instead of you reading, gathering information to whatever you want to write, achieve today, and yet you are there listening to things that you say who's fighting who today, or who has money upon who today. A lot of people have engaged themselves into competition. You are in the social media to find out who has money between who is more beautiful between who is more handsome between who. So you are wasting your time.
He explains that by going through literature, people are able to find books that can help transform their lives. He says his recent book, titled Believe in Yourself, was inspired by the drive to give people hope that even when things are tough, if they believe and commit to improve their lives, things would be better.
Aspects that you don't wish that you can pass through, then later on you pass through and all like that. So how do you grow your belief? So your belief, it's in you. It's something that is in your heart. It's something that has been in you for ages and years. So how do you nurture your belief? One, we read books that talks of your situation. Read books, go to seminars that can talk about your situation. So once when you start being lonely, when you are lonely, you develop that loneliness in your heart, you develop negativity thoughts. So if the belief of negativity grows in you, you lead yourself into destruction.
Mr. Chilumba also implored the government, together with writers, parents and guardians, and the media, to take a leading role in promoting the reading culture in the country. Patrick Nseko, Camnet News.
Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, Jack Mwimbu, says there is need to strengthen strategic communication and policy signage to fully implement the 9 programs announced by China at the 8th Ministerial Conference of the Forum of China-Africa Cooperation held in November 2021. Mr. Mwimbu says China has provided the Zambian government with an initial grant of 15 million United States dollars for various projects to be agreed upon by the two countries. Meanwhile, the Home Affairs Minister says the country is still considering the proposed Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) between the two countries on mutual visa exemption of diplomatic and service passport holders to facilitate business between the two countries. The minister was speaking during a meeting with his counterpart, Mr. Wang Xianhong, the Minister of Public Security of the People's Republic of China.
Aware that currently we have a number of Chinese companies and businessmen that are establishing this in Zambia. To ensure the safety of the investment of the investors in Zambia, we as a Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security are collaborating with the Ministry of Public Security in China. During our interaction with the Ministry of Public Safety in China, we have reached a number of agreements wherein the government of the People's Republic of China will facilitate the support to Zambia Police and other institutions within my ministry. Further, we are also pursuing another line of engagement pertaining to the issuance of digital ID in the country. You are aware that the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, has emphasized that for us to ensure that we have a smooth economy and also provide security, we need to digitalize the systems in the country. Hence our coming to China to discuss with a number of institutions within China that are able to provide these facilities. I would like to inform members of the public that our discussions have been very fruitful. We look forward to getting
SADC Women in Mining Deputy Chairperson Grace Njapau has condemned the conduct of Rachel Katolo, who was heard uttering imperative language against the Vice President Mutalena Lumango in a phone call conversation. In an interview, Ms. Njapau says women need to find a better way of addressing each other, whether they are hurt by the conduct of the other. Ms. Njapau says politics should not be taken to levels where people start disrespecting each other, faulting where they are coming from and the impact their actions have on their families. She says women need to draw a line and support each other so that men can have confidence in the leadership of women.
Women, I think we need to find a way of addressing ourselves, and also whether it hurts or it doesn't hurt, I think we need to respect those who are in leadership, especially when we know that they are older than us. No matter how we are provoked as women, let's try to be sober and address issues as mothers, because this situation is not really good. And if we take politics as women to that level, then we are losing it. We are losing it. So my sending this message is that I think we need to be sober. We need to respect one another. We need also to differentiate our levels of understanding.
Still to come in the news, Zambia takes on Niger in the 2026 World Cup qualifier match in Morocco. Stay tuned.
Introducing Darren B, a touch of class. Are you looking for the perfect place to elevate your style and glam up? Look no further. Darren B Touch of Class is your one-stop destination for hair and makeup transformation. Walk into Darren B and walk out feeling like a star. Your transformation starts here. Call us on 0772 870 588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049 213 to book your appointment today. Payments are made via mobile money or point-of-sale machine. Strictly no cash payments. We are located along Mossy Road in Ibex Hill, fourth close on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post. At Darren B, we pride ourselves on our team of dedicated and trained personnel ready to pamper both women and children. Darren B is open 7 days a week from 0720 hours to 1740 hours. From trendy hairstyles and stylish makeovers to flawless makeup, we do it all. Darren B, a touch of class.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. And now in international news, flash flooding in Somalia has now killed at least 50 people and driven nearly 700,000 from their homes, a government official said. The Horn of Africa region is experiencing torrential rainfall and floods linked to the El Nino weather phenomenon, claiming dozens of lives and causing large-scale displacement, including in Somalia, where the downpours have destroyed bridges and inundated residential areas. The Somali Disaster Management Agency director warned on Monday, November 20th, that the expected rains between 21st and 24th of November could cause more flooding and lead to even more deaths and destruction. Here's a roundup of international news.
Flash flooding in Somalia has now killed at least 50 people and driven nearly 700,000 from their homes, a government official said. The Horn of Africa region is experiencing torrential rainfall and floods linked to the El Nino weather phenomenon, claiming dozens of lives and causing large-scale displacement, including in Somalia, where the downpours have destroyed bridges and inundated residential areas. The Somali Disaster Management Agency director warned on Monday that the expected rains this week could cause more flooding and lead to even more deaths and destruction. On Saturday, the UN humanitarian agency OCHA said 1.7 million people overall have been affected by the disaster. The destruction of infrastructure has led to increased prices of basic commodities, according to OCHA. British charity Save the Children on Thursday said thousands have been forced from their homes in Kenya, Somalia and Ethiopia due to flash flooding. The Horn of Africa is emerging from the worst drought in 4 decades after multiple failed rainy seasons.
The South African government on Monday called on the International Criminal Court to issue an arrest warrant for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu by mid-December. Minister in the presidency, Khumbudzo Ntshavheni, said it would signal a total failure of global governance if the ICC does not do so. Israel says it is defending itself following the October 7th attack by Hamas, but the South African government has repeatedly described the Israeli campaign in Gaza as genocide. Alongside 4 other countries, South Africa last week submitted a referral to the ICC to investigate whether war crimes and crimes against humanity have been committed in Gaza. A long-time supporter of the Palestinian cause, South Africa has also recalled its ambassador and diplomatic staff from Israel. Following South Africa's move on Monday, Israel recalled its own envoy in Pretoria.
And now in sports news, the Zambia men's national team is this evening expected to take on Niger in the 2026 World Cup qualifier match in Morocco. The 2 teams will lock horns at the Grand Stade Marrakech at 21 hours Central African time, with Zambia aiming to top the table. Zambia had last week Saturday beaten Congo-Brazzaville with 4-0 and is seeking a second victory to put them in the lead. The Chipolopolo is seeking to qualify to the World Cup for the first time after several attempts to qualify. The national team have since held their final training session at the Grand Stade Marrakech on Monday evening. Meanwhile, coach Avram Grant and his technical team, together with Vice President Andrew Kamanga and Vice President Justin Mumba, are at the stadium keeping tabs on the proceedings. That item brings us to the end of the news. Here are the top stories. Women opposition leaders pass a vote of no confidence in the NGO CC. ZAMSA suspends 8 procurement members pending investigations. Court grants an application for Brian Munduwile to be joined to the Mau Sampa legitimacy case. In international news, Somalia floods, provisional death toll reaches 50. And in sports news, Zambia takes on Niger in the 2026 World Cup qualifier match in Morocco. We now look at our Camnet verse of the day, coming from the book of 2 Timothy 1 verse 7. For the Spirit of God gave us, does not make us timed, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. That's it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Good night.